everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. This is the last card that I'm going to show you in my little fall series. So it's just a series of 3 cards. We actually did them, all of them at my in-person October camp. I can't believe that October is almost over. So if you missed the other 2, I have this one that the set Pick of the Patch is kind of Halloween, fall, Thanksgiving. So we're probably too late for you to get it for Halloween unless you already have it, but it has really cute jack-o'-lantern faces. It has some sayings about pumpkin pie, cutie pie. So there's this one, and then there's this one that Fragrant Forest. I always forget which. We have 2 forest cards and they throw me. So this one's kind of a fun, some of you may get this winter card. This week I saw that, thankfully not to us. Indiana tends to stay warm longer than most of the Midwest. So hopefully we don't have snow, but it's kind of a fall, again, Thanksgiving. You could even use it in the winter for a birthday card. So those are the first 2. And now I'm going to do one in anticipation. I'm filming this before I go to upstate New York. So this is in anticipation of the All About Autumn paper coming back. So it should be back in stock soon. I'm going to use Cheers to the Season. And here's the reason I'm going to use it. I'm going to show you the stuff I'm going to use and then we'll throw it. It's a real fast card. We'll throw it together really quickly. I'm going to do an autumn card and I'm going to use, these are must-haves. These are the deckled circle dies. They're in this catalog. Are they on this page? No, the deckled rectangles are. These have so many sizes. Look how many sizes of circles there are. I'm going to use 2 of them on today's card, so those are out. But these, you'll use them, you'll reach for them over and over and over again. So these are a must-have. Then this, we have Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then this could be year-round. Might use them for some of my daughter's wedding things. Just made it for my niece. She turned 21, so that was her. I used it for her 21st birthday card, but I think it's probably intended for New Year's, dimensional back, of course, for New Year's, since it's called Cheers to the Season. I'm going to use the fall one, but I want you to take a look because I'm not making napkin rings, but this would make a super really easy napkin ring, and I'm going to show you how. So, the deckled circle dies are right here. So they've cut the circle out of paper, and this paper, if you're doing Thanksgiving, this is the All About Autumn, and it should be back in, but they bought enough at the beginning of the catalog. They thought it would last the whole way through, and then it sold out right away. And then the second shipment, they thought that would last the rest of the catalog. So if you want it, unfortunately, I won't be home this week to tell you when it's back in. Just go check the website a couple of times every day and get it as soon as it's there. Because I don't know, surely it won't sell out again instantly the 3rd time. But you could take one of the large circle dies. Like this one would be so pretty for your Thanksgiving napkin rings. And so you'd cut the large circle die and then it just wraps around. But because both sides of this paper are gorgeous, just think how pretty that would be. Then you could do the same thing with any paper for Christmas paper for your Christmas napkin rings. And then again, if you're having a New Year's brunch or something, you could do it again for New Year's. Or you could just keep the idea and have it anytime you want to use the Cheers one. So that's why I wanted to show you this. I'm going to do a card, but the medallion we're going to make for the card would be perfect on top of this. So let's make it. It goes together super quickly. So you just use this biggest one. And then I love gold, some gold cutlery. I love the gold. That's been real big on all the weddings that we have been to recently. So let's make this. The first thing we're going to do is I chose this piece of the All About Autumn paper. But, standard card size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you have to lose some of it. So when you're going to cut it, just think, I think this is pretty. This side's prettier, right? Because you have this big leaf. So let's do this at the 4. Get it this way. And then we need 5 1/4. You can make it a little bit bigger if you want. And again, I want to keep those leaves. If I cut this off, I'm just going to lose a little bit of that blurry. So just, my 5 is always down at the wrong side. Whoops. So there's 5 1/4. I'm going to go a smidge bigger than that. Then you have this paper left, and I've been saving it all because this is beautiful. It's too pretty to throw away. I just keep sliding it all back in the packet. Can't even pick that up. Squishy. Now, this is pecan pie for my card. And you see this goes, if you want to fill the whole thing up, by all means you can. And then I have a piece of just white. I went back and forth. It would be pretty on vanilla. It would be pretty on pecan or any of these colors. I just did white. Kind of, once you put the white on here, it kind of lifts that white up out of there. And then I just looked at the leaves on here. And then I tried to get colors that kind of matched. So I have pumpkin pie, pecan pie. I didn't know there were 2 pies. And wild wheat. We have some food themes going on for our Thanksgiving card. That's perfect. Then you want to start with your lightest color. It's kind of a toss between pumpkin pie and wild wheat. I'm not going to use daubers or anything. You could. But again, if you're doing these for napkin rings, you might want to go kind of fast. So I'm just going to sponge on some pumpkin pie. See the leaves? Look. These kind of, I think it might be shadows, but they have straight lines on them too. So I was just going to match wild wheat. And then let's get our pecan pie. So here's 2 Thanksgiving pies that you can have. This is why you go lightest to darkest, because now I can get a little bit smudgy on those. And then if you want, you can take a sponge dauber, you can take something and kind of blend those lines. I'm not going to on this one. I kind of like the artsy way it looks, but you do want to blow some hot air on it. And get it all re-moistened, that stuff that we did first. And then it's just beautiful. This is one of the things, if you have friends who haven't stamped before, always when you do something like this, they're like, well, that was magic, and I did that. Isn't that pretty? Super, super pretty. Now, the wild wheat looks pretty green here. It does lighten up to more of a yellow. But you can see it's got a green tinge to it. It's a funny color because if you paint with it, it's a perfect substitute for gold. But when it's got more ink on it, it does have that a little bit of a green tinge. It's one of my favorite new colors. So now we're going to take our cut and emboss machine. We're going to need this a couple of times. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my larger of the 2 circles, and I am just going to cut right into this part. I've cut my paper in a different place than I did on my sample card I see now. So just pop this in here, run that through, and then it's going to allow us to use the reverse side of our paper without having to have another piece of paper, because we're just going to turn this guy over and then we'll have a little bit of a, so my card's going to be the opposite direction because I cut my paper the opposite way. And then 1 size smaller, I'm going to cut this out. Okay, you could use this one just like this after it's been cut out, but I want to make it a little bit fancy. Plus, if you're going to do something for decorations, it makes it a little bit more stable. It makes it really pretty. And we're all about the pretty, right? So before October's over, remember you can sign up to join my team and get 35% off your starter kit or 35% more in your starter kit. And you're running out of days to use the host code. If you haven't already shopped this month, they get this month's free things. So I'm taking the Versamark, get that in here real quick. And I'm just smudging it all over the back. It doesn't do anything to your pad. We did this at camp, so multiple people have done it. It is fine. Pop this in my embossing tray, and then I'm going to just pour clear powder on it. And it all just goes back in there. I have a tendency to pour it all out. And then I am going to use my tweezers on this. And you want to be a little bit strategic about where you put your tweezers. I don't know why I can't pick up stuff today, but I'm having a heck of a time. Knock this all off. And I am going to pick a place that's got a little bit of color. So maybe right here and as little as possible. This up and it makes it look like glass. It's so pretty. So I like to heat it from the bottom, and you can see when it starts to change. Because when it's on like this, it can dry it off from the edges, like with the hot air is blowing on it, and you don't want any of it to blow away. And see right there where my tweezers are? These tweezers are nice and heat resistant, but they are going to pull a little bit of the shiny off. It's not too terrible, but if you do it on one of those little leaf points, it's really hard to notice that it doesn't have embossing powder on it. Now I'm going to bring my machine back over here, and I'm going to get, here it is, I think it's called, we've had several versions of these over the years, and I can never remember exactly which one this is called. All of the things are down under the video, but it's kind of a timber wood pattern. It may be called, I don't know. I'll pick with the wrong one, whichever one I say. So first we're going to put this piece through. We're going to put the whole piece through, but not this. That way it'll give a nice little difference of texture. It's nice and subtle, but it does add. See, if you did this, that's what that would look like. But I want that to just be on its own. And on this, you do get that wood grain. And then I'm going to throw this in here. And for this one, pick a good place. Because some of them, like, I want a knot to kind of go through it. So you can see where it's going to go. And look how much fun this is. And imagine this on your napkin rings. You could do snowflakes if you were using the Christmas one at Christmas. You could just use like the confetti if you were doing the cheers one. You could do the cheers for a bridal shower, an anniversary party. You could hang these from gift bags or something. They're just really cute. And with the different circles in that one stamp set, you would be able to do lots of different occasions. But we're doing a card, so let's finish putting our card together. I am going to take, it's always better if you put something through the embossing machine to put your adhesive on here. And there's no chance it's going to tear it. In here, don't press down until you know it's straight, but that's good since our adhesive's on there. And then just pop this back in. You can do it so it's straight. I wouldn't do it catty corner. I think it looks better straight, which may or may not fit perfectly, but nobody will notice. Then we are going to take 2 ribbons. Now hopefully this ribbon comes back in stock soon. It's the one that goes with the All About Autumn paper, and then this one is the woven wavy trim. And it is from in the annual catalog. So first I'm going to take it, and it comes apart in 3 pieces. Now if there's not a knot in it, it pulls together pretty well, but sometimes, you know, like jute has this funny knot, see, it just stops. But it comes together, it comes apart very easily. So just pull it, and then you'll have 2 sets of strings, and then the one piece that was in the middle is kind of fuzzy. And then my thing is going to go here. It's not, I guess it's the same as my other one, just a little bit different. I did cut the paper in a different spot. So I'm going to lay this on here. I'm going to take these 2 and untwist them just a little bit, just these 2. See it, well, if you untwist it, it makes it much more fibery. I'm not going to, you can do it to all of them if you want. If I was going to do it on napkin rings, I might. But because I'm filming, I'm not going to sit here and keep doing this. But it does make these then be a 3rd texture. So all 3 of your different pieces of this have different texture. It'd be better if I put it on the table. But now we're kind of committed. And then I'm going to let a little bit come through the bottom. But this is the star of the show up here, and you don't want the 2 that are the same to be right next to each other. So just pop those on here. And I'm just going to take these 2 apart. And then this one here, I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to put it in a V and put it there. And then you just need to take one piece of this and then cut one of the selvage ends off. This is beautiful ribbon, and it's in a combo pack. The other one you can deconstruct too. That comes in with it. I just used it in Card Club. I don't have very much of it left. I didn't have enough left to do this on my club card. There's also some ribbon. This ribbon, last I looked, oh, maybe that's this ribbon. There's a clearance ribbon that is just like this as well. It's a little bit of a different color. So now you see you can just pull these off. And I'm just gonna lay them so they kind of catch in the middle. These I'm gonna take and I like to have all the different textures, and when these are closer together like this, they're much more copper, and when I dropped them on the card, they're a little bit more wispy. So it just gives you different ways that you can use it. You can use this piece too if you want, and you can get this all the way down to that other side of selvage. But that's good for us for now. Sometimes I'm more committed when I'm not filming. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals, and this will help hold all this in as well. I'm just going to pop them right over the tops of where all of this is. Looks a little bit of a hot mess now, but it'll be beautiful when we put this stuff on top of it. Get that one. On there, and we're just going to trim these up, the ones that are kind of wild. Isn't that pretty? Very fun in fall. Then I'm going to use, these are also from the All About Autumn suite. They are the adhesive back speckled dots. I think they're due back in November, but we have other ones that would work if you don't want to wait. And on all of my cards, I've been using these colors. So I really liked the green. Even, see, the wild wheat looks green, but it also matches this. So I'm going to put 7 on because I believe my embellishments belong on my cards. So 1, 2, 3 up here, and then we'll do 4 at the bottom. 1. You want an odd number. 2, 3, 4. I like to tell you how many embellishments are in the cards when I do this, because I know some of you are like, oh, I could never put that many embellishments on a card. So let's do the math. There's 160. So if we put 7 on a card and we did 10 cards, that'd be 70. If we did 20 cards, it'd be 140. So you could do 20 cards and put 7 on them and still have some left. So use your embellishments on your cards where they're meant to be. And then you have these beautiful things. So imagine if I just done the large deckled circle, and then mounted this on the top. Here's my other one. I don't know how the paper's upside down. No, I don't know what I did. It's a totally different spot of the paper, which just shows you that it's beautiful everywhere. So be watching for it to come back in stock. The fabulous thing is the flip side of it. These sides are also beautiful, that whatever you don't use before Thanksgiving, you can save it till next year. But a lot of it, the books, the wood, there's several patterns that aren't even fall themed, but the other side, I don't even know exactly. I always call the flip side the other side. This paper doesn't have the other side. They're both beautiful sides. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little fall series, and up next will be some more Christmas things. Have a great one. Bye.